Welcome to United Daily Updates, your trusted source for all things Manchester United. Hello everyone and welcome back to United Daily Updates. If you are new here, make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel where we bring you the latest news, match analysis, and everything happening at Old Trafford. We are your trusted source for Manchester United content, and we work hard every single day to keep you updated with accurate information and deep analysis of our beloved club. Today we have something special to talk about. Something that has got the entire United community buzzing with excitement and hope for the future. The debut that changed everything. Picture this. It is Saturday afternoon at Old Trafford. The atmosphere is electric as always. Manchester United are facing Sunderland in what many thought would be a routine match. But what unfolded that day was anything but routine. A young Belgian goalkeeper stepped onto the pitch for his debut, and by the time the final whistle blew, everyone in that stadium knew they had witnessed something special. We are talking about Senne Lammens, a name that many United fans had heard whispers about but had not yet seen in action. On October 4, 2025, he finally got his chance. And boy, did he take it. The match ended 2-0 to United. Mason Mount and Benjamin Sesko scored the goals. But when fans left Old Trafford that day, they were not just talking about the goals. They were talking about the young man between the sticks who looked like he had been playing at this level for years. So who is Senne Lammens? What made his debut so special? And what does this mean for the future of Manchester United? Grab a cup of tea, sit back, and let us dive deep into everything you need to know about this exciting development at our club. Who is Senne Lammens? Before we talk about his debut, let us get to know the man himself. Because if you are going to get excited about a player, you need to know where he came from and what journey brought him to Old Trafford. Senne Lammens was born in Belgium, a country that has produced some incredible goalkeeping talent over the years. You only need to look at Thibaut Courtois to see the quality that comes from Belgian football academies. Lammens came through the youth system at Royal Antwerp, one of Belgium's historic clubs. At Royal Antwerp, Lammens showed promise from a young age. He was tall, commanding, and had excellent reflexes. But what really set him apart was his composure. Even as a teenager, he did not panic under pressure. He made decisions quickly and stuck to them. These are qualities that cannot always be taught. Some players either have them or they do not. Manchester United scouts had been watching Lammens for some time. They liked what they saw. A modern goalkeeper who was comfortable with the ball at his feet, good at reading the game, and brave enough to come off his line when needed. In today's football, goalkeepers need to be more than just shot stoppers. They need to be sweepers, distributors, and sometimes even playmakers. Lammens ticked all those boxes. The transfer happened earlier this year. It was not one of those massive money moves that dominates headlines for weeks. United were smart about it. They identified a young talent with huge potential and brought him in before other big clubs could make their move. That is the kind of smart recruitment we have been crying out for at this club for years. When Lammens arrived at United, he knew he would have to be patient. Andre Onana was the established number one. The Cameroon international had come in with a big reputation and was doing a decent job. Lammens would have to wait for his opportunity. He trained hard every day, learned from the coaching staff, and kept himself ready. Then came October 4th. His moment arrived. And he was ready. The match against Sunderland, a complete breakdown. Let us take you through that afternoon at Old Trafford step by step. Because to truly understand why people are so excited about Lammens, you need to know exactly what happened during those 90 minutes. The team sheet came out about an hour before kickoff. When fans saw Lammens' name in the starting 11, there was a buzz of surprise and anticipation. Why was he getting his debut now? Was Onana injured? Rested? Or was this a tactical decision by the manager? Whatever the reason, Lammens was in. And he knew the whole world would be watching. The first 15 minutes of any debut are crucial. This is when nerves can take over. This is when a young player can freeze under the pressure of playing at a stadium like Old Trafford in front of thousands of fans and millions watching around the world. But Lammens looked calm. Really calm. His first touch of the ball came from a back pass in the 8th minute. Simple stuff. He controlled it, looked up, and played a measured pass out to the right back. Nothing fancy, but it was confident. You could see he was not going to let the occasion get to him. Sunderland started the match well. They came to Old Trafford with a game plan and they were not there just to make up the numbers. In the 12th minute, they created their first real chance. A quick break down the left wing, a cross into the box, and suddenly a Sunderland striker was through on goal. This was the moment. The first real test for Lammens. He did not hesitate. He came off his line quickly, made himself big, and forced the striker to rush his shot. The ball went wide. Danger cleared. It was a small moment but an important one. It showed that Lammens had the bravery and decision-making to deal with one-on-one situations. As the first half went on, Lammens was called into action a few more times. Nothing too dramatic, but each time he dealt with it calmly. He caught crosses confidently. He positioned himself well for shots. He communicated clearly with his defenders. These are the basics of goalkeeping, but doing them well in your debut shows real maturity. Then came the moment that really got people talking. It was the 38th minute. Sunderland won a corner. The ball came into the box, there was a scramble, and suddenly a Sunderland player had a shot from close range. Lammens threw himself to his right and made a brilliant save. But the ball was not cleared. It fell to another Sunderland player who shot again from even closer. Somehow, Lammens got back up and made another save. 2 saves in the space of about 3 seconds. The crowd erupted. This was not just about the quality of the saves, although they were excellent. It was about the reaction speed, the determination, the refusal to give up on the play. Great goalkeepers do not stay down after making one save. They get back up immediately and prepare for the next threat. Lammens showed that instinct. That is something special. The first half ended 0-0. Lammens had done everything asked of him and more. He walked off the pitch to applause from the United fans. You could see the confidence growing in him. The second half started and United began to take control of the match. Mason Mount scored in the 52nd minute with a lovely finish after some good build-up play. The pressure was off a little bit. United were ahead. But Lammens could not relax. In football, a 1-goal lead means nothing. You have to stay focused until the final whistle. Sunderland pushed for an equaliser. They had nothing to lose. They threw players forward and created a few half-chances. But every time they tested Lammens, he was there. Solid. Dependable. Calm. In the 67th minute, there was another big moment. A long-range shot from a Sunderland midfielder. It had power and was dipping. These are the kind of shots that can catch a goalkeeper off guard. But Lammens watched it all the way. He positioned himself perfectly and caught it cleanly. No drama. Just good goalkeeping technique. Benjamin Sesko scored the second goal in the 78th minute. That effectively killed the game. United were 2-0 up and cruising. Lammens had a few more routine saves to make, but the hard work was done. When the final whistle blew, the scoreboard read Manchester United 2, Sunderland 0. Lammens had kept a clean sheet on his debut. But more importantly, he had shown quality, composure, and potential. The kind of potential that gets United fans dreaming about the future. Breaking down Lammens' performance, what made it special? Now that we have gone through the match, let us analyze exactly what Lammens did well and why people are so excited about him. Because keeping a clean sheet is great, but it is the details of his performance that really matter. First, let us talk about his positioning. Good positioning is one of those things that casual fans might not notice, but it is absolutely crucial for a goalkeeper. If you are in the right position, you make saves look easy. If you are in the wrong position, even simple shots can beat you. Throughout the match against Sunderland, Lammens' positioning was excellent. When Sunderland had shots from distance, he was always in the right spot. When they crossed the ball, he was on the right line. This is not luck. This comes from reading the game well and having good instincts. Second, his shot stopping. We already talked about that double save in the first half, but his overall shot stopping was very good. He made himself big when he needed to. He got down quickly to low shots. He dealt confidently with high shots. For a debut, you cannot ask for much more. Third, his distribution. In modern football, goalkeepers need to be good with their feet. They need to start attacks and play out from the back. Lammens showed he can do this. His passing was crisp and accurate. He did not just lump the ball forward. He looked for teammates and tried to start moves from the back. This is exactly the kind of goalkeeper style that managers like Ruben Amorim want. Fourth, his command of the box. When crosses came in, Lammens was not scared to come off his line and claim them. He called for the ball loudly. He used his height and reach to his advantage. Defenders need to trust their goalkeeper. When they see their keeper commanding the box like Lammens did, it gives them confidence. Fifth, and maybe most importantly, his mentality. Making your debut at Old Trafford is not easy. The pressure is huge. One mistake and you become a viral video. One error and fans might lose confidence in you before you have even started. But Lammens looked like he belonged there. He did not look nervous or unsure. He looked ready. There were a couple of small things he could improve. Once or twice his distribution was a bit safe when he could have been more adventurous. And on one occasion, he came for a cross but did not quite get there, which forced a defender to clear it. But these are tiny things. For a debut performance, this was really impressive. What United fans are saying. The reaction from United fans has been overwhelmingly positive. Social media exploded after the match with praise for Lammens. Let us look at what the fanbase is thinking and feeling about this young goalkeeper. On Twitter, United fans were quick to praise his performance. Comments like "We might have found our goalkeeper for the next decade" and "What a debut from Lammens" were everywhere. Fans were particularly impressed by that double save in the first half. Clips of it went viral within hours. On Reddit, the Manchester United subreddit had multiple threads discussing Lammens. Fans were analysing his every move, comparing him to past United goalkeepers, and debating whether he should keep his place in the team. The overall mood was very positive. People are excited. What is interesting is that fans are not just excited about his current ability. They are excited about his potential. At his age, Lammens is still developing. Goalkeepers often do not hit their peak until their late 20s or early 30s. If he is already showing this much quality now, imagine what he could become with a few more years of training and experience. Some fans are already calling for him to be the #1 goalkeeper going forward. They think his style suits the way United want to play better than Onana. Others think he should be eased in slowly, given games in cup competitions and against lower opposition until he is ready for the really big matches. Both views have merit. There is also a lot of talk about what this means for Andre Onana. The Cameroon international has been a solid goalkeeper for United, but he has had his shaky moments. If Lammens keeps performing like this, Onana might find himself on the bench. Competition for places is healthy at any big club. What is clear is that United fans are hungry for a goalkeeper they can really believe in. Someone who can be their #1 for years to come. Someone reliable and consistent. Could Lammens be that player? Based on his debut, it is certainly possible. Comparing Lammens to past United goalkeepers. Manchester United has a rich history of great goalkeepers. From Peter Schmeichel to Edwin van der Sar to David de Gea, United fans have been spoiled over the years. So where does Lammens fit into this legacy? Obviously, it is way too early to make serious comparisons, but we can look at some similarities and differences. Let us start with Peter Schmeichel. The Great Dane is considered by many to be the best goalkeeper in United's history. He was huge, commanding, and intimidating. He saved United countless times and was a big part of the treble-winning team in 1999. Schmeichel was also excellent at starting counterattacks with his throws and kicks. Lammens has some similarities with Schmeichel. He is tall and uses his size well. He is commanding in his box. And he is good at distribution. But Schmeichel had an edge and aggression that made strikers nervous. It is too early to say if Lammens has that same intimidating presence. Next, Edwin van der Sar. The Dutchman came to United when he was already in his 30s and was absolutely brilliant. He was calm, consistent, and made everything look easy. He was not flashy, but he was incredibly reliable. He very rarely made mistakes. This is where Lammens might be most similar. His calmness and composure in his debut reminded a lot of fans of van der Sar. He did not try to do anything spectacular. He just did his job efficiently and effectively. If Lammens can develop that same consistency, he will have a great career. Then there is David de Gea. For many years, de Gea was one of the best goalkeepers in the world. His shot stopping was world-class. He saved United so many points with incredible reflexes and saves. However, as football evolved, some weaknesses in his game became apparent. He was not great at commanding his box on crosses. His distribution was not always the best. And he sometimes seemed reluctant to come off his line. Lammens seems to have a more complete game than de Gea did at a similar age. He is better at crosses, more comfortable with the ball at his feet, and more willing to act as a sweeper keeper. Of course, De Gea's shot stopping at his peak was extraordinary, and it remains to be seen if Lammens can reach that level. The point is not to say Lammens is better or worse than these legends. That would be ridiculous after one match. The point is to show that he has qualities that United fans will recognize and appreciate. He has the tools to potentially become a very good goalkeeper for this club. The tactical fit under Ruben Amorim. Let us talk about tactics for a bit. Because the way Lammens plays fits perfectly with what Ruben Amorim wants from his team. And this is a big reason why he might become the first-choice goalkeeper going forward. Amorim likes his teams to play out from the back. He wants possession. He wants his goalkeeper to be comfortable receiving the ball under pressure and playing accurate passes to start attacks. This is not something all goalkeepers can do. Some are great shot stoppers but poor with their feet. That does not work in Amorim's system. Lammens showed against Sunderland that he can do this. Multiple times during the match, defenders passed the ball back to him even though Sunderland players were pressing. He stayed calm, took a touch, and played a good pass. He did not panic. He did not just boot it long. He played the way Amorim wants. Amorim also likes his defensive line to play quite high up the pitch. This means the goalkeeper needs to act as a sweeper keeper. When a ball gets played over the top, the goalkeeper needs to quickly come out and clear it before the striker can get there. This requires speed, bravery, and good decision-making. Again, Lammens showed he can do this. There were a couple of occasions against Sunderland where he read the danger early, came racing off his line, and cleared the ball. This is crucial in Amorim's system. If the goalkeeper is not willing to do this, the high defensive line becomes very risky. Communication is another key aspect. Amorim wants his players constantly talking to each other, organizing, and adjusting. A goalkeeper has the best view of the whole pitch and needs to be vocal. Lammens was talking throughout his debut. He was organizing his defense and telling them where to be. This leadership from a young player in his debut was really impressive. The bottom line is that Lammens' profile matches what Amorim wants from a goalkeeper almost perfectly. He is good with his feet, brave off his line, commanding in his box, and a good communicator. These are all things that Onana can do as well, but if Lammens keeps performing, the competition will be fierce. What this means for Andre Onana. We cannot talk about Lammens without discussing what this means for Andre Onana. The Cameroon international joined United with high expectations. He had been brilliant at Inter Milan and Ajax before that. He was supposed to be the modern goalkeeper that United needed. Onana's time at United has been mixed. He has had some very good performances and some poor ones. His distribution is generally excellent. He is brave and confident. But he has made some high-profile errors that have cost United points. And at a club like Manchester United, fans have long memories when it comes to goalkeeping mistakes. Now he has serious competition from Lammens. This could go one of two ways. Either it pushes Onana to raise his game and become more consistent, or it sees him gradually lose his place as Lammens gets more opportunities and takes them. Competition for places is healthy. No player should feel like their position is guaranteed. It makes everyone train harder and stay focused. Maybe this is exactly what Onana needed. Maybe knowing that a talented young goalkeeper is breathing down his neck will bring out the best in him. Or maybe Lammens is simply the better fit for how United want to play. Maybe his style suits Amorim's system better. Maybe his potential is higher. Time will tell. What is certain is that the manager now has a decision to make. Does he stick with the experienced Onana? Or does he give more chances to the young Lammens who looked so impressive in his debut? These are the kind of selection headaches that good managers enjoy having. For Onana, the message is clear. He needs to perform consistently. One or two more high-profile errors and he might find himself watching from the bench. For Lammens, the message is equally clear. Keep working hard, stay ready, and take every opportunity when it comes. The bigger picture, United's goalkeeping history since Ferguson. To really understand why United fans are so excited about Lammens, we need to look at the club's goalkeeping situation since Sir Alex Ferguson retired. Because it has been a bumpy ride. When Ferguson left in 2013, David de Gea was still a young goalkeeper finding his feet. Over the next few years, he developed into one of the best in the world. Between 2014 and 2018, he was absolutely brilliant. He won United's Player of the Year award multiple times. He was saving them constantly. Fans loved him. But then things started to change. De Gea's form dipped. He made errors in big matches. His contract situation became messy. And as football evolved towards goalkeepers needing to be good with their feet and commanding their box, his limitations became more obvious. United eventually decided to move on from De Gea in 2023. It was emotional for many fans. He had been a great servant to the club. But it was probably the right decision. The club needed a goalkeeper for the modern game. Enter Andre Onana. He came in with a big reputation but has not quite lived up to it yet. He has had good spells and bad spells. Consistency has been the issue. United fans have not been able to fully trust him the way they trusted De Gea at his peak or Van der Sar before him. This is why Lammens' debut has created so much excitement. United fans are desperate for stability in the goalkeeping position. They want someone they can believe in for the next decade. Someone who will not make silly errors. Someone who fits the modern game. Could Lammens be that player? The early signs are very promising. But we have to remember that one good performance does not make a career. He will have bad days. He will make mistakes. That is part of being a goalkeeper. The question is whether he can be consistently good and whether he can learn from his mistakes quickly. If he can, United might finally have found the long-term solution they have been looking for since Van der Sar retired back in 2011. That is a long time to be searching for a goalkeeper. No wonder fans are excited. The youth development success story. Lammens' debut is also a great story for United's youth development and recruitment. This is how big clubs should operate. Identify young talent, bring them in before they become too expensive, develop them, and give them opportunities. For too many years, United's transfer strategy was all about buying big-name players for huge money. Sometimes it worked, often it did not. What was missing was the smart identification of young players with potential who could develop into stars. Lammens is an example of better recruitment. He was not a big money signing that dominated headlines. He was a smart piece of business. United identified a talented young goalkeeper, brought him in, and now he is showing why they were right to do so. This is the kind of transfer business that sustainable success is built on. Not every player needs to cost £100 million. Sometimes the best signings are the ones nobody talks about until they start performing on the pitch. It also sends a message to other young players around the world. If you are good enough and you work hard, you will get opportunities at Manchester United. The club is willing to give chances to young players who deserve them. This is important for attracting the next generation of talent. United have a proud history of developing young players. The class of '92 with players like Beckham, Scholes, Giggs, and the Neville brothers is legendary. In recent years, the Youth Academy has produced players like Marcus Rashford and Mason Greenwood. Bringing in young players like Lammens and developing them continues that tradition. What happens next? The road ahead for Lammens. So where does Lammens go from here? What can he expect in the coming weeks and months? Let us think about the realistic path forward for this young goalkeeper. First, he needs to stay humble and keep working hard. One good debut is great, but it means nothing if he does not follow it up with more good performances. He will be back in training this week, and he needs to show the same quality and attitude that earned him his debut in the first place. Second, he will probably get more opportunities. Whether he becomes the new number one immediately or shares duties with Onana, he will definitely play again soon. The manager has seen what he can do. He will want to see if he can maintain that level. Third, he needs to learn to deal with setbacks. Because they will come. He will make mistakes. He will have bad games. Every goalkeeper does. What matters is how he responds to those moments. Does he bounce back quickly? Does he learn from his errors? Great goalkeepers have short memories. They forget mistakes and focus on the next save. Fourth, he needs to keep developing the weaker parts of his game. No goalkeeper is perfect. There are always things to improve. Maybe it is his kicking under pressure. Maybe it is his positioning on certain types of shots. Maybe it is his decision-making on when to come for crosses. The coaching staff will be working with him on these things. Fifth, he needs to stay fit and healthy. Injuries can derail a young player's career. He needs to take care of his body, follow the medical team's advice, and not take any unnecessary risks. If he does all these things, the sky is the limit for Lammens. He could become United's number one goalkeeper for the next decade. He could win trophies. He could play for his country at major tournaments. He could become a fan favorite and club legend. All of this is possible. But it all starts with the next training session, the next match, the next save. He cannot get carried away with the praise from his debut. He has to stay focused on continuous improvement. The competition with Onana, a healthy battle. Let us dive deeper into the goalkeeping competition at United. Because this is going to be one of the most interesting battles to watch over the coming months. On one side, you have Andre Onana. He is 28 years old, experienced, and has played at the highest level for years. He knows what it takes to perform in big matches. He has won trophies. He has played in Champions League finals. He brings leadership and experience. On the other side, you have Senne Lammens. He is young, hungry, and full of potential. He is eager to prove himself. He has nothing to lose and everything to gain. He brings energy and a desire to take his chance. This is the kind of competition that makes teams better. When two players are fighting for the same position, both of them have to be at their best. They cannot afford to have an off day in training. They cannot afford a poor performance in a match. The other guy is right there ready to take their place. For Amorim, this is a great problem to have. He has two capable goalkeepers. He can rotate them based on form, based on the opposition, or based on the competition. If one of them gets injured, he has a quality backup ready to step in. This depth is crucial for a club trying to compete on multiple fronts. The media will make a big deal of this competition. They will ask Amorim about it in every press conference. They will analyze every decision. They will create narratives about who is winning the battle. But hopefully both goalkeepers can stay focused on their own performances and not get distracted by the noise. What would be ideal is if both goalkeepers push each other to improve. If Onana sees Lammens performing well and thinks, I need to raise my game. If Lammens sees Onana performing well and thinks, I need to work even harder. That competitive spirit can make both of them better. The worst-case scenario would be if this competition creates a bad atmosphere. If one of them becomes bitter or resentful. If it affects team spirit. But there is no sign of that happening. Both players seem professional and focused on helping United win matches. Breaking down the goals, Mount and Sesko shine too. While Lammens rightly gets a lot of attention for his debut, we should not forget about the two goalscorers. Mason Mount and Benjamin Sesko both found the net, and their performances were important too. Mason Mount has had a difficult time at United since joining from Chelsea. Injuries have disrupted his progress. He has struggled to find his best form. But his goal against Sunderland was a reminder of his quality. It was a well-taken finish, showing good composure in the box. Mount is a player who needs confidence. When he believes in himself, he can be really effective. Scoring goals helps build that confidence. If he can stay fit and find some form, he could be an important player for United this season. He has the technical ability and the work rate that Amorim wants. Benjamin Sesko is an interesting case. The young Slovenian striker joined United with a lot of potential. He is big, strong, fast, and has good technical skills. But adapting to the Premier League takes time. The pace is different. The physicality is different. The expectations are different. His goal against Sunderland will help his confidence too. Strikers live for goals. Even if it is just one goal against lower opposition, it matters. It gets them feeling good about themselves. It makes them believe they can score in the next match too. Sesko and Rasmus Højlund are forming an interesting partnership up front. They are both young, both still learning, but both have huge potential. If United can be patient with them and give them time to develop, they could form a deadly strike partnership for years to come. The connection between Højlund and Sesko is growing. They seem to understand each other's movement. They are starting to combine well. This takes time to develop. The more they play together, the better they will become. What is encouraging is that United are winning matches while giving young players opportunities. Lammens, Sesko, Højlund, and others are getting chances to play and develop. This is how you build for the future while also trying to win in the present. The Amorim effect, building something special. Ruben Amorim is starting to put his stamp on this Manchester United team. His philosophy is becoming clearer. His methods are starting to show results. And the victory over Sunderland with Lammens' debut is part of a bigger picture. Amorim believes in giving young players chances. He is not afraid to drop big names if younger players deserve to play. This meritocracy creates a healthy environment. Players know that if they work hard and perform well, they will play. It does not matter if they cost 100 million or if they are a young prospect. His style of play is also becoming more clear. He wants possession but with purpose. He wants to press high and win the ball back quickly. He wants his fullbacks to get forward and create width. He wants his midfielders to control the game. And he wants his goalkeeper to be comfortable playing out from the back. Lammens fits this system perfectly. His ability to play with his feet, his willingness to come off his line, and his composure under pressure are exactly what Amorim needs. This is why he was given his debut. The manager saw that he could execute the game plan. What is exciting for United fans is the feeling that something is being built. For too long, United have looked like a collection of individual players rather than a cohesive team. There was no clear identity, no clear style. It changed from manager to manager. Amorim is bringing an identity. You can see what he is trying to do. And slowly but surely, the players are starting to execute his vision. There will be bumps along the way. There will be bad results. But there is a sense of direction now. A sense of purpose. The victory over Sunderland was not just 3 points. It was not just a clean sheet for Lammens. It was another step in the process of building something special at Manchester United. And if they can keep developing young players, keep improving as a team, and keep believing in the process, good things will happen. Fan reactions and social media buzz. The reaction on social media after Lammens' debut was something special. Let us look at how fans responded and what the general mood was like in the United community. Twitter was buzzing within minutes of the final whistle. The hashtag Manchester United was trending. Fans were posting clips of Lammens' saves. They were praising his composure. They were getting excited about the future. Many fans were making bold predictions. Some said he should be the number one from now on. Others said he is the best young goalkeeper in the league. Some even compared him to young De Gea when he first arrived at United. These are big claims based on one match, but they show how impressed people were. The United fan channels on YouTube had a field day. Every channel was talking about Lammens. They were breaking down his performance. They were debating what this means for Onana. They were looking at clips from his time at Antwerp to see what else he can do. The content was flowing. On Instagram, players and fans were posting about the match. Pictures of Lammens making saves were getting thousands of likes. Comments were full of praise and excitement. Even fans of other clubs were admitting he had a very good debut. Reddit was more analytical as always. The Manchester United subreddit had detailed posts breaking down his positioning, his distribution, his command of the box. Fans were being more measured in their praise but still very positive overall. The consensus was that it was an excellent debut, but we need to see more before making big conclusions. What was particularly interesting was the international reaction. Belgian media were covering his debut extensively. They were proud to see another Belgian goalkeeper doing well at a big club. Antwerp fans were happy to see him succeeding. This shows the global reach of Manchester United and how much attention even a debut gets. The social media buzz is great for building excitement. But Lammens needs to stay off social media and focus on his job. Reading all the praise can be nice, but it can also create pressure. Reading any criticism can affect confidence. The best thing for him is to delete the apps and just focus on training and playing. What the statistics say. Let us look at some numbers from Lammens' debut. Because while football is not all about statistics, they can give us some objective measures of how well he performed. Clean sheet. That is the first and most important stat. 0 goals conceded. Job done. Of course, defenders deserve credit too. But the goalkeeper is the last line of defense. Keeping a clean sheet in your debut is a great achievement. Saves made. Lammens made 6 saves during the match. Some were routine, some were excellent. 6 saves suggests he was reasonably busy but not under constant pressure. It was a good balance. Pass completion. His passing accuracy was around 85%. For a goalkeeper playing out from the back, this is very good. It shows he can be trusted with the ball at his feet. Some of his passes were under pressure from Sunderland forwards, which makes the accuracy even more impressive. Crosses claimed. He caught 3 crosses during the match. This might not sound like much, but claiming crosses is a crucial part of modern goalkeeping. It relieves pressure on the defense and shows command of the box. All 3 of his claims were clean with no fumbles. Successful sweeper actions. He came off his line twice to clear danger when Sunderland tried to play balls over the top. Both times he read it early and dealt with it well. This is exactly what Amram wants from his goalkeeper. Distribution distance. On average, his passes traveled about 25 yards. This suggests he was not just lumping it long but trying to fin.